Lions and the Seahawks, and it comes your way next.
With Mount Rainier in the distance, there are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass. That's not going to around.
In motion, the tight end. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And shutting him off, now open field. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Again, it's Barkley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Barkley, inside handoff. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. You talk about this Lions defense. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
14 yards that time for number 14. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Up the middle with Barkley. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Davis now. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
No receivers open, so who's forced to put that one into Puget Sound? That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers. And ultimately, a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
And that is incomplete. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. So here are the Lions now backed up for their first drive. They're led out by their quarterback, a day 3 selection in this year's draft.
And he's got to be feeling pretty good about himself right now because he's coming off of a strong performance in the team's win last week. And you can just tell, even early in his rookie season, he's starting to get really comfortable out there, and things are starting to fall into place. In fact, in talking to the rival defensive coordinator, the team he's facing this week, he told me this young man's starting to get it.
There's a short throw taken in by Bryant. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards. First down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the first down. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Right back to him on first down. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 10 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown.
It's a very nice winning streak that they're on, and they've really seen this offense come into its own as a unit. And one of the keys is that the ground game has been established, and it's keeping the defense honest near the line of scrimmage. Sometimes that leads to huge games for him. Other times, he plays a complementary role to someone else. But however it's getting done, they're winning week after week.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. They team up there to pick up the first. The Lions hit 3-0 here in the month of September. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
We're scoreless after 1. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Now a handoff up the middle. Dukes. And he's across the 40. 3 extra yards to the 43. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down. Operating from the gun, Bryant. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
They'll look to throw again. That's going to be caught by Waddle. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Back to throw again. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked by Kenneth Murray. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
Extra point by Ryland, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And you wonder, I mean, is it even possible, especially for the quarterback, to mentally reset after that quick of a turnaround?
Well, we're certainly going to find out, aren't we? Because that play will stay in your mind, but somehow you have to compartmentalize. Put it aside, pick yourself up, and get moving in the right direction.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Bryant. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
This one complete to Mecole Hardman. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Again, he'll drop to throw. That is caught. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. They'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 1. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Everyone's eyes go to him when he nears the end zone, and that includes the coverage. He took away the easy throwing lanes and forced a high throw.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Harrison Bryant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Boy, Charles, that's a great response drive from the rookie quarterback. Remember, threw the pick on the previous possession. Here, he's able to lead him down and throw it into the end zone for the touchdown.
And I know from the draft analysis that this is exactly why this team wanted to take this young man. They thought his ability to bounce back from mistakes and quickly turn them into positives, that was something they wanted on their team, and we just saw evidence of it right there. This young man doesn't let anything get to him, and he finds a way to come back big.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. And the Seahawks offense going to get one final possession in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing to start the drive. Davis. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Davis. Throws left side. Atwell's got it. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Finding Smith and Jigba downfield. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Davis. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete. And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try to pick up another 1st down. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there. And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. They'll let this go deep for Waddle. That's caught at the 25.
That's interference. Defense.
So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and control you have to remain as a defender. That was a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against him.
The final shot before break. Bryant. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed.
Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is now 14-10. So we have reached halftime with a visiting line. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here are the Lions to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Second down and 6 now. Off the play fake. Bryan. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
They're going to try and throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Back to throw now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Bryan. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. They snap it to Fields. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. They run the counter. Dukes. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by the Seahawk defense. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Bryant. And that will be incomplete. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Jalen Waddle halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Lions' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was finished off by a Jalen Waddle touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Troy Anderson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13.
Let's go.
Back to throw. Davis. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4.
On the jump. Here we go. Here we go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Well, now hang on here because Saquon Barkley is in some discomfort, so we're going to have a pause here for an injury. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. It's their quarterback, 44 yards. And the Seahawks have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense, because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
All right, now the Seahawks face a big two-point conversion attempt. They'll look to throw. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. Ryland now following the touchdown, back out to kick it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they'll have good field position here as he's out of bounds up at about the 34-yard line. The Lions offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground. Dukes. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the 1st down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
And that one not fooling anyone. It'll go down as a completed pass, but it will lose a big chunk of yardage. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. And he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Bryant. And that will be incomplete as well. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
Back to throw. Davis. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going.
Let's go. Hop.
He'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. First and 10 here.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Right back to Atwell. That's complete. That is brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. First and 10.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Back to throw. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked off by Reek Woolen. And the Lions have just about sewn up this football game. And just when you thought this game might be turned on its ear, a late interception pretty much going to seal the deal.
Yeah, boy, talk about having your backs to the wall. This defense, they look like they were in danger of surrendering this lead, but they knew they needed that one play. And they got it right there, partner.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's 1 timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And they will take a knee here. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. And the clock will roll down to zeros. 4 weeks in, 4-0. I don't think anybody needs to alert the 72 Dolphins just yet, but great start to the season.
Great start. How about taking a knee at the end, and there's no better feeling for a team than to do that, to close out a victory. But you're right, at 4-0, they're sending a message to the rest of the league. They're going to be tough to deal with.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And say what you want about Lumen Field here in Seattle, but for my money, this is the loudest and most difficult place to win in the league when you're on the road.
It's very hard. The fan support, off the charts. The way that they make noise and understand when to make noise, they understand the game as well as anyone. And how about what we get in our media packets when we start preparing for the game? They have it in their own stuff, right? The number of offsides penalties, false start penalties that they draw against the opposing team because of that fan support. And last but not least, they designed the stadium to keep the noise in, and it works.
But not in this one. They were able to somehow come in here and get that victory. So for Detroit, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will head back home next week.